Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make your very own Christmas gingerbread biscuits. As it's near Christmas, I thought I'd do a festive baking video so you can make some yummy treats for your friends and family at Christmas. So I hope you enjoy! Okay, so the ingredients you're going to need is 75 grams of light brown soft sugar, 2 tablespoons of golden syrup, 1 tablespoon of black treacle, 1 tablespoon of water, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of ground ginger, 95 grams of unsalted butter, half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, and you're going to need 225 grams of plain flour. And you're also going to need a range of different cookie cutters for your choice. So to start off with, you're going to put in your light brown sugar into your saucepan. You're also going to add your golden syrup. And you can either get this in a squeezy bottle or in a tin. My one's in a tin, and this is a very sticky substance, so it's going to be kind of hard to get out, but just try and scrape as much of it out with your teaspoon as you can. But you should be alright, you don't need to be too precise, so don't worry about that. So there is mine. And then you're going to want 1 tablespoon of black treacle, and again, very sticky. Don't get worried about all being precise and stuff, because it's impossible. You're also going to want to add a tablespoon of water. And there's mine. And you're going to want to add your teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and you can either use a sprinkler bit, or it would be easier to unscrew it and just scoop it out. But it's totally up to you. As you can see, I'm just being a bit messy there. I'm just dropping it all, but there you go. And you're also going to want a teaspoon of ground ginger. And again, the same thing. It'd be easy to unscrew the lid. I just didn't, because I don't know. I just didn't. So after you've got them all in, you're going to want to turn on your hob onto a low heat and allow the ingredients to start to warm. So there's me just turning on the hob. There we go. And turn it on quite low, so I go for about 2 on there, 2 or 3. Don't go too high though. Then pop it on there and just start sort of stirring it around to allow the heat to get in. And once it starts to warm, continuously stir it, otherwise your ingredients are going to burn, and we don't want that happening. So keep stirring round and round until they all start combining. You will be able to tell because it go sort of like a chocolate sauce, it'll look like, and it looks really good. So just keep mixing. As you can see, my ingredients are starting to melt and sort of combine together, and that's how you want it to look. And then we're going to go ahead and add our butter. And you can either cut this up into little chunks or into slices, or you can be like me and just chuck the whole lump in there. I'd advise to cut it up, it will melt a lot quicker. But if you can't be bothered to, or you don't want to get all sticky and then just throw it all in there. It will melt, it will do the exact same thing, don't worry. It's just easier if you cut it up, it will just melt so much quicker. So get that melting. It will take a while. And there we go, that's what it'll look like when it's melted. Then you're going to want to add your bicarbonate of soda, and that's half a teaspoon. That's mine, and I've already popped it in there. And once it starts bubbling, take it off the saucepan. You don't want it to bubble, it's not good. Just move it onto a saucepan or somewhere that is not on or hot, so it just settle down, and then pop it back on. And once they're all combined, and then you can take it off, and make sure you turn off your hob. So now we're going to sift in our flour a bit at a time, and you need to sieve it in, because otherwise it'll be all lumpy and it won't, just sieve it, okay? So you can either use a sieve like mine, which is just so cool, or you can use one of the more conventional ones, which you just tap the side yourself. I love this one, it's great. And you're just going to want to fold that in to your batter, and it should start to form a ball of dough. It will get more tough as you go. Also, you may need to add a little bit more flour than I've said, depending on how your ingredients have sort of gone. Then don't worry if you need to, just keep adding flour until you form a nice ball of dough. And once you have formed your ball of dough, you're going to want to leave it to cool for 30 minutes. So now we can roll it out. So we're going to get a bit more flour and just sift it over your surface to make it nice and fine. And we're doing this to prevent the dough from sticking to the table, because you don't want that. So just make it sure it's all spread out nicely. And then there's our ball of dough. Just grab it all out that saucepan. It should be nice. It shouldn't be too sticky either. As you can see, none of it's getting stuck to my hands, which is what you want. And it should be a nice brown colour, sort of chocolatey colour. And then you're going to want to roll your ball flat. Make sure you rub it well with flour as well, because you don't want the rolling pin sticking to it. I'm using a non-stick rolling pin, which should also help, but just lightly flour that as well, or flour your dough, just to be safe. And once you're all floured up, then you're going to get your rolling pin, and you're going to want to roll the ball flat to a 3 centimetre thickness. Not too thin or too thick. You're going to want roughly 3 centimetres. Don't worry about cracks, they don't matter. And also at this point you're going to want to preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius. And when you're rolling it, keep flipping it over, so you're rolling all different sides, the back, the front, so it's all nicely rolled out all evenly and you haven't got any slightly higher bits in other places. So you're also going to want to line a tray with grease-proof baking paper, and so when you cut out your little cookies, they can go straight onto the tray ready to be baked. So I'm using a gingerbread man, a star and a snowman. And these are sort of a medium-sized cookie cutter. And as you can see, I'm trying to make it as economical as possible, because I want to try and get as much out of my dough, because the more you roll it, the more it starts to fall apart. So try and get as many on as you can in one go. So there are my 3 different ones, and I'm going to go cut all of them out of my dough, and then we're going to want to pop them on the lined tray and put them into the oven for 10 to 15 minutes or until they are firm to touch. Mine took about 10 minutes, but depending on your oven and what type it is and the heat and everything, it will kind of depend. So just keep an eye on them. Just be careful when you do touch them, because you don't want to put an indent into them if they aren't properly cooked yet. As you can see, I'm chopping mine all out and I'm making it as economical as I can. So these lot are going to go on the tray now, and I'm going to roll my bowl of dough again. So this is what they look like when they're cooked. As you can see, they go lighter in colour and slightly darker on the back. That's what they should all look like, and they look really yummy. Oh, and they smell so good when they're cooking. And then we're going to want to make our icing. So you're going to want to add some icing sugar and some water. There is no precise measurements here, it depends the consistency of what yours wants to be like. So just keep adding your icing sugar accordingly until it's thick enough. You want it thick enough to work with, but not so thick you can't actually make little faces and stuff out of it. So see, I'm just adding a bit to start off with. Then I'm going to put my water in as well and start mixing. And then just gradually, once all the icing sugar's gone, you're going to want to mix more in. And you're just going to keep adding more and more and more. And as you can see, it will start coming together. Also at this point, you can add food colouring to it to make it more festive, like a red or a green. Or you can just be plain if you don't like food colouring and go with white, like I have done here. Because I'm not too fussed, I'm just going for sort of more conventional looking cookies. So, so exciting. So as you can see, I'm adding more icing sugar and just keep doing that. And that's the consistency you want it. So it's quite thick, so as you can see, it sort of slowly droops off the spoon, not too runny. And now I'm going to use a little dotting tool to make my little eyes and the little buttons and just all the little details. You can use whatever you like. You can use a piping bag. I just prefer this little dotting tool. You can use a toothpick, the end of a spoon, really whatever you want. It's totally up to you. I just quite like this. I don't know where I got it from. I think it came in a magazine free. But you can get dotting tools everywhere, and this is a baking one. So once you've baked them all, you can then, well, not baked, once you've iced them all, you can then leave them to dry or eat them straight away, whatever you like. So you can do whatever design you like. I'm just kind of going for a normal looking gingerbread man. I'm not the best at icing, but it tastes good, so. And you can do it however you want. You can cover the whole thing in icing. It is totally up to you. There is no way of doing this right or wrong. So I'm just decorating them. And I quite like to use a lot of icing. On my stars, I decided to cover them completely in icing. And then on the snowman and gingerbread man, I decided to go a bit more plain. So here they all are. I'm so happy with them and they taste so good. And I really hope you enjoyed this festive baking tutorial. Bye!